So hello everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get to my top 10 luxury foundations and concealers. Now I don't have 10 concealers, but I do have 10 foundations. I kind of cheat a little bit with the foundations though, because some of them I do mix with other foundations. I don't ever wear them by themselves, so I figured putting those together it would make it 10, because otherwise it would be 12. But it's two foundations I like to mix with other foundations, and one of them I do wear by itself, but I was like, I'm just saving with the one I mix it in with, since that's the way I prefer it over the way I used to wear it. Once I tried this combination, I was like, it's a wrap. So I guess I'll start off with the two that I mixed, and then we'll go into the individual ones on their own, and then we'll end on the concealer note. So I like to mix the Tom Ford Soleil Flawless Glow Foundation. I have the shade 11 Dusk, and then I mix it in with the Natasha Denona Foundation X Plus Full Coverage Fruit Complex Foundation in the shade 86Y Dark. So it's supposed to be like a dark with yellow undertone. So as you can see, this has gray in it, and it's gray because of the sunscreen that's in this foundation. So I like to mix it in with this yellow golden foundation to like even out my tone. Plus this obviously isn't giving full coverage because it's a light glowy foundation, and this is going to give me the full coverage that I want. So I like to mix these two together, and since they are both, you know, from high-end fashion houses, they're luxury products, and I love the way they look. So I usually leave this combination here at my grandmother's house to use during the summertime. But I'm like, in the wintertime, I think I have a combination that I'm going to go for too. And these are my Burberry foundations. If you all remember, I told y'all in the complexion corner how much I love these. I found them at, where's that place? I found them at Nordstrom's Rack for $14.99 a piece. And I think they cost like $60 normally each. But I have the Fresh Glow Foundation in the shade 66. And then I have the dark warm, I have the matte glow foundation in dark warm 120, and I mixed both of these together to get a gorgeous shade. The shades actually worked out perfectly. I didn't think they were going to work out as well as they did, because as you can see, this one is much darker than this one. To me, this is more like my winter shade, and then this is more like my summer shade. And when I combine them together, I just get a beautiful shade, because I get the matte finish, but I still get like the glow from within look by combining both these foundations. They look absolutely stunning on the skin. So if you can find them at your TJ Maxx, like I said before, go ahead and get your hands on them, girl. You need them. So I actually have 3 foundations that I mixed together as a combination. That's what I should have said. I didn't realize, I had forgot about the Burberry ones. But yeah, so I have the Natasha Denona foundation. So I like this Face Glow foundation in the shade 90 Dark Warm, and then I like to mix the Transfer Matte Pore Matte Vanishing foundation in the shade 85 Warm Neutral Dark. So this is another lovely combination I like to put together. I absolutely love it. I think it's just stunning on the skin. To me, this looks like your skin, but better, like literally glowing from within. Like you mix this foundation with this foundation, and it looks like your skin is literally glowing from within, because this blends onto the skin and makes it look really natural and matte, and then this gives you that like skin like finish that you need. It's just the perfect match made in heaven. I actually leave this here to try out, but I'm thinking about taking it home so I can wear it tomorrow to work with the ABH foundation. I don't know, we'll see. Because I still need to try out the Valentino one as well. So I think I'll go ahead and take this home for now, and then I'll try the Valentino one over the weekend. You know what? No, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna leave it here. It's not like I don't have plenty of foundation at home, because I have plenty of stuff everywhere. So now we're gonna get into just the individual ones, and some of these I feel like you shouldn't be surprised about, because some of them I've raved about how much I love. Some of them have been in my favorites videos, like current favorites this year, and then some of them were in my, like, you know, best of 2020 and things like that. So we have the Shishedo Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, and I wear the shade, of course, 510 Suede. This stuff is absolutely wonderful. Like, it truly does refresh your face and just keeps your makeup looking nice and fresh. And then there's like a matching powder foundation to go with it. Just makes it even stunning and even more wonderful. Absolutely love it. Absolutely recommend it. You absolutely need it in your life. Yes, yes, yes. 1,000 times less. I love this foundation, and it's definitely one of my top 10 Holy Grail foundations. It was on sale like last week on Sephora's website. I think they were just trying to clear out some of the ones that are about to expire soon. But this is a wonderful foundation. I have it in the Radiant formula as well. I don't like that one nearly as much as I like that one, but with the powder foundation on top of the Radiant one, I can make it work. I just wanted to try it out and see what the difference was, because I knew I love that one so much. I figured I might like it too. I feel like it's going to be better for wintertime for me, but it came out in the summer, so I had to try it out when it came out. But we'll see how it goes in winter. Next is a Newfound Love that I tested out recently, so I feel like you should know what this is. This is the Very Valentino Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation in the shade DN2. If y'all remember, I told y'all I wasn't gonna buy this, and then I messed around and found it at Nordstrom's, and then I bought it, and I'm so glad I did. So, oh my god, y'all, this is like the Natasha Denona combination I told y'all about, except it's on its own. It's like a your skin but better, for real. Like, this literally just looks like my skin. It is absolutely wonderful, stunning, amazing, and I love it. I just love this product. I need to try it out some more though. But on first application, I knew. I was like, yes, it's your skin but better. Now I do spot conceal with this underneath the skin because it's like light reflecting and it gives like medium coverage. So I have to prepare the skin accordingly. But when I don't have bad breakout days and I just put it on and it looks smooth and natural, oh honey, yes. So I'm going to try that one over the weekend along with some concealers, because I still need to try the ABH one, and then I want to try it with the Lancome one, so we'll see how that goes. The next foundation I have to talk about, a couple of these I tried out this year, so I want to get the ones I tried out this year out the way, and then the older ones we'll talk about toward the end along with the concealers. So next one I have is the Gucci Fluid Day Beauty Natural Finish Fluid Foundation. I have the shade 410W. It's medium deep. This is the shade Jackie said we wear, so I didn't ask questions. I just bought this shade. Y'all know how to go when Auntie Jackie said we wear a shade. Since I'm the same skin tone she does, I just buy that shade. I don't ask questions. Whatever Jackie says the color is we wear, I just buy it in that shade to move on in my life. Again, this is what I told y'all I wasn't gonna buy. It's because I heard the horror stories from Mel Thompson talk about her skin was peeling off her face, or she had really bad breakouts or whatever based upon this foundation. Thank God I didn't have that issue, but I don't know if it's because she bought the primer and the foundation, because I think she said she had both. I only bought the foundation because I wasn't about to pay that much for a primer when Tatcha Silk Canvas exists. I put liquid Tatcha Silk Canvas on with like all my high-end bougie foundations, and that's what works for me. So whenever they come out with a primer, I don't buy it because I'm just like, I have my Tatcha's liquid silk canvas and I have my hydro grip, so it's like I don't need all this other stuff. But this foundation is absolutely amazing on the skin. Like, it looks like your skin but better. Like, I love foundations that give me full coverage your skin but better. The problem is people want to give light coverage your skin but better. Everybody doesn't have perfect skin. I am not a model. I am not a Glossier person. I want medium to full coverage. I need medium to high, medium to full coverage. And if that's not what you're giving, then you can stay in your lane over there where you belong, because you're not giving me what I need. But this definitely does. The only thing is, of course, it's high, but it's luxury and it's Gucci, so of course, you know, you're gonna pay high prices for it. But you get, I believe, you get 1 fluid ounce, and it lasts for a year. So I'm trying to get my year's worth out of it because it was not cheap. The next one I have, again, one I said I didn't want to try. Now this one I actually was curious about trying, but I heard Michelle Wong saying she didn't like it, and then I remember Mel saying she liked it. So when they had, I think it was 30% off at Bergdorf Goodman, or I forgot where exactly I got it from. I'll try to link the videos to these foundations up there. This is the Tracy Soft Matte Foundation from Tom Ford. I remember not liking the foundation stick from him. And that's why, and then I didn't like that Tom Ford foundation, the other one I showed you on its own, which is why you saw I paired it with the Natasha Denona one. So I was skeptical about buying this one because, like, I had bought 2 on their own that I didn't necessarily like on their own perfectly. But this one did it for me. Like, this one is really, really nice. I really like it. I'm glad I got my hands on it. I'm glad I got my hands on it at a discount, because I was like, this would have been a third strike you out type situation if had I not liked it, because this would have been the 3rd Tom Ford complexion product I tried and I wasn't with it. Now, I don't really like the concealer pen, and I know that was the thing that Samantha Ramsey was talking about, how she loved and how she was sad that it got discontinued. But I wasn't personally impressed with it. But then again, the color I got was wrong, so that's why you won't see it in this video, because I had that concealer. It's not that it's a bad concealer, it's just like the color's off. But at the company cosmetic store I went to, they didn't have the shade that I needed, so I was just like, oh well, so it's just like moving on. Anyway, this is the Tracy Tom Ford foundation. I forgot to tell y'all what shade I wear. I wear the shade 10 Chestnut, and that's because this one oxidizes. Now, I don't know, I don't feel like the Tom Ford Glow one I showed you all earlier oxidizes, but I know this one's oxidizes for sure. And I remember Mel Thompson saying so, which is why I bought the shade 10 instead of the shade 11 Dust, which is the one I normally wear. And it did oxidize, so I'm thankful that Mel pointed that out. This foundation looks beautiful and natural on skin. If you all haven't noticed, it's not that I have a problem with natural looking skin. I want full coverage natural looking skin, not like your skin but better type situation. I need full coverage at all times. So if it's gonna be your skin but better, it's gonna need to be full coverage your skin but better. And I feel like a lot of people aren't doing that, which is why I'm not being a part of the Your Skin But Better movement. But this is a really good one for that, if you don't mind bringing out them coins, because I think that's an $88 foundation. I'm pretty sure that cost $88. I caught mine on sale, which made like 50 something or maybe $60, which is why I ended up getting. With Tom Ford, I just feel he's overpriced for a lot of stuff, so that's why a lot of times I just don't like burst out and try to buy it. I feel like we all knew this was going to be in here. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I wear the shade Medium Deep 26. When I originally bought this, I bought the shade, I think, Deep 28 or Deep 29. Andrea Renee did the same thing, because we just bought the first darkest shade in line, automatically thinking it would work for us, when we actually were in the medium dark category, as we found out after Auntie Jackie put her video out late. So I ended up buying it when she had a sale on her website, or either that or I bought it when Sephora had the VIB sale around my birthday, and that's probably what I did it. But this foundation looks stunning on the skin. If you all remember in the Pat McGrath Utopia Dreams palette video I just put up, I had on her foundation, her concealer, and all of her like products pretty much that I own, so she still hasn't made us bronzer yet. I'm telling y'all, when she make bronzer, nobody else's bronze is going to exist as far as I'm concerned. But I really like the way this foundation looked on my skin. It had been a while since I used it, just because, again, I have so many foundations I have to review and test and try out. And I'm the type of person where I want to wear my bougie foundation when I'm going somewhere. Like, I don't want to wear it just to work just because it's Tuesday. You know, it's Pat McGrath, it's expensive. I feel like I need to be going somewhere and experiencing life. But at the same time, it's like, if you just let it sit up and rot away, that's, you know, a waste of money. So I'm trying to make myself learn to, like, do that better. How's this battery down, y'all? And I just put it in here before I left. This is ridiculous. Anyway, the next one I have is the La Mer, the Soft Fluid Long Wear Foundation. I have the shade 430 Chestnut. This shade is actually too dark for me, so this is my summer shade. I need to get a winter shade, perhaps. I doubt it though. Knowing me, I'm just going to conceal and then like use a lighter powder to make it work, because this foundation is $120. Y'all, who finna buy a summer shade and a winter shade? They real funny. I caught this on sale for I think 20 or 30% off, and that's the only reason this is my collection, because I feel like La Mer is another one of those brands that's just overpriced, and I get them. But yeah, like I was saying, my camera died. Who buying a summer and a winter shade for this foundation? Girl, this cost $120. I got mine, like I said, on sale, and that's the only reason it's in my possession. But you know, it's a great foundation. I'd still, like I said in that video, I don't think it's worth $120, because the Gucci one looks just as nice. In my personal opinion, it's only $60. The Tom Ford looks just as nice, and it's only $80. So it's like, why should I give you an extra $40 when these other people are doing the same thing? Like, I'm sorry, I just, no. I have foundations that I feel like look nice enough to where it's like I don't need to spend $120. I wanted to try this because everybody was raving about it, and I got my hands on it at a great deal, so that's how I tried it. But you know, it's really a great foundation for a luxury foundation, which is why it's in here. But I can't do the $120 price point. Like I caught mine on a deal, and that's how I suggest you catch yours. Even though it's a good product, I just don't like the price point. I just can't be bothered. No. So the next one I have is the Dior Face and Body Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I have wear the shade 6N. This stuff is really nice. I've never tried it on my body, believe it or not, but I use it for the face a lot in the summertime, because I feel like it just gives you that natural Your Skin But Better situation. But again, that means it doesn't give that much coverage. So I spot conceal underneath my face as usual, and then they have a nice powder that goes with it. The matching powder, I'll try to remember to link the video up above. But the powder is really nice, especially on top of this foundation. And then there's a lovely concealer that comes from Dior that you can put with it, that just gives a beautiful, wonderful look all over the face. I'll try to remember to link that video up above too. But the concealer video is kind of old, so forgive me. I filmed it in my living room, and it's just not as up to date as this is. So just be advised when it comes to that video if I do remember to link it. But this is a really nice product, and this is actually a reasonably priced product. If I remember correctly, this is only $40. And you know, for Dior, that's cheap. But I think this is supposed to be like their more affordable line, if you will. Although like the highlighter face palette is like $50, and the bronzer palette is $50. So it's like, is that really, I mean, sorry, the contour palette is like $50. So is that really a deal? Not necessarily. I guess for Dior it's a deal. So this is really nice. The only thing I will say is be advised that it's going to look really gunky and disgusting in your cap like this. Look at that. And then like the inside of my cap looks so gross and disgusting. I don't know if you can see, but it's horrible looking. That was weird. Anyway, it's a horrible looking color I mean, it's horrible looking, and I feel like a lot of the fluid comes out of the packaging, and I don't like that. Like, I don't like that at all. That's the one thing I do not like about that. The last foundation I have to talk about before we get into these concealers, as I've been rambling long enough, is of course a classic. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Now remember when everybody used to talk about this, everybody had to have it, everybody thought it was wonderful. I was super late to the train. I caught this, shout out to my girl Beautydealsbff. I keep telling y'all to follow Amy on Instagram. I caught this foundation for $34 because of Amy. She said that with the deal where if you like bought a certain thing that they would, and you added this to your cart, you got it for like $34, $39, and it worked, and I got this foundation for $34. Now they have a power fabric one that I ended up getting for like 40% off, so I think it was around the same price on sale. But this is the classic OG, and I wear the shade 11.75. Now weirdly enough, they say this has a pink undertone, but I feel like it always looks nice on my skin, and I don't feel like it pulls pink. So this is a great foundation. Now this to me is actually worth its price point, the 60, I think it's $64 that this goes. This is worth the price point to me because this is like your skin but better, again, for real. This is really, really nice. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations to use and reach for when I want that your skin but better effect. And since it's part of the luxury line, I definitely felt like I needed to shout it out. So let's start with some concealers. We'll start with Giorgio Armani since that's where we left off. I have the Luminous Silk Concealer, and then I have the Power Fabric Concealer. Now with the Giorgio Armani concealers, I wear the shade 8.75, so apparently he just thinks people with my skin don't need a 0.75 added onto it, because if you heard me, the foundation I wear is 11.75, and then the concealer is 8.75, so apparently they really just think I need 0.75s on the end of whatever I have to buy from them. I'm fine with it, whatever. I don't use this one on its own, and if I do, I would just use it to highlight my face on its own. The one I love to use underneath my eyes is the Power Fabric. I know Mel Thompson really loves this concealer too because it is amazing. This is a wonderful high-end concealer. I absolutely love it, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. I actually have two of these, y'all. That's how much I like it. I had one to leave here at my grandmother's house, and then I have one at home. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk one, not so much, which is why I only have one to show you all. But all of these concealers are at my house currently right now, so there you go, because they're just amazing and I need all of them. The next one I have to talk about is the Dior one I was telling you all about. This is the Dior Forever Skin Corrector conceal 24-hour wear carrying full coverage creamy concealer. I wear the shade 4WO, which is warm olive. I felt like the shade range for this was kind of weird and I wasn't sure which shade to get. So I ended up with this really light shade, but it ends up working out perfectly and nice with that foundation, thank goodness, and with my other Dior foundations. So I'm glad to have it in my collection. I do use it with other luxury foundations as well, but I usually try to keep brands with other brands when I have them. I like to keep all the brands together, so I usually use this with that Backstage one, and then I still have my Dior Forever foundation that Jaclyn Hill used to rave about, which is amazing as well, and I use this with that. But this is just a really nice concealer on its own because I've used it with other luxury and high-end products, and it works well with those as well. So it's just a gorgeous concealer, and y'all know I love colors like that for underneath the eyes, so when I have a foundation that's too dark like the La Mer, I would go in with something like that to brighten it up a bit, especially in the winter time because that's going to be too dark. But if I got somewhere to go, we're going to pull out the most expensive foundation and make that work. Okay. The next concealer I have to talk about is a brand that is in the doghouse right now with a lot of people for not being inclusive, and I feel like they've been there for a while. And I said, like before, like Samantha Ravenel spoke out about them, about how they're inclusive when they want to be. So they'll be inclusive with their complexion products, but it's like people have been asking you to come up with these same powder products for 40 years and be inclusive when they're not. So I feel like you should already know who I'm talking about, but that doesn't change the fact that this is a nice product and it's a luxury product. So I figured I would speak on it, but I'm not going to encourage you to buy it just because they're not being inclusive. They be inclusive when they want to, like I have been saying for like, I believe, like at least 2 years. This is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I have the shade Maple, and I know Andrea Renee was talking about how difficult it was to find a shade online. I automatically picked the shade Maple and was right on the money with it and bought mine online. As you can see, I have actually used quite a bit, if you can see through there, because I really like the concealer. I think it's a really good color. I think they do complexion well. I just don't like the fact that they choose to only do complexion for me when it comes to like foundation and concealer. I'm supposed to figure out what powder to use. I'm supposed to figure out what blush and what bronzer to use from somebody else because they decided that I don't need those kind of products. I just need foundation and concealer. It's like there's more to makeup than foundation and concealer, and you need to be more inclusive when it comes to everybody, not just, you know, who you think is worth your time. So there's that. And it'd been perfect for them to come out with bronzers now, since it's the bronzer getting when everybody's trying to be inclusive with bronzer. But no, they decided to come up with shitty eyeshadow palettes that they think somebody gonna pay them $30 a shade for. Like they lost their mind, because who's paying that? Especially the Hourglass, who's not known for eyeshadow in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I don't know who the hell's in charge over there, but you need to be fired effectively immediately. I don't know what you're doing in life, but you need to reevaluate. Okay, so the second last concealer I have, again, I feel like you shouldn't be surprised by this, because, I mean, we knew Mother was going to be in here. These are the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealers. I have two different shades. I originally bought the shade MD23, and then one of you all told me I needed to get the shade MD20. So when the sale at Sephora came around for my birthday, I went ahead and bought this shade. I actually like to use both these shades together. So what I'll do is I'll put this toward the inner part of the eye, the shade you all told me to get, which is M20, and then on the outer part and the highlight of my face, I'll use the shade MD23 to do that part. But I like this concealer. It's really nice. We all know it gives good coverage. It's creamy. It blends out nicely. It helps with the dark circles underneath the eyes. It's just a beautiful product. We know Mother makes beautiful products, so I wasn't surprised that it worked nicely. And then putting her under eye powder underneath just gives you life. It's like, can't nobody tell me nothing when I have that on, because how are you doing? You're not gonna tell me anything. Okay, like, Mother, beat this face and you will tell me nothing. Thank you so much. The last product I have to talk about is, again, I feel like it's something you shouldn't be surprised about. Now, I don't know if you consider this luxury or not, but I was like, I'm gonna just sneak it on in here, because, you know, his purses are pretty expensive, and all his other stuff is pretty expensive. And I feel like this was expensive considering it's supposed to be a foundation and a concealer, and it's this tiny ass container. This is a Marc Jacobs Extra Shot caffeine concealer and foundation. See, even he knows it's a concealer. That's why I say concealer first. I have the shade Tan 330. Y'all know this is my type of color right here. I love these golden, yellowy undertones. And plus, again, I feel like these concealers work well for me when I buy foundations that are too dark, which is another reason I like to have in my collection. I actually have a backup of this. And the funny thing is, a lot of people said they didn't like this as a concealer or a foundation. I love this as a concealer. But I told y'all in the video, and I stuck to my word, I ain't never trying this as a foundation. Because who got time to go with this in a foundation? This is, I'm trying to see how many ounces it doesn't say on the packaging, but it's like, I'm sure this is like less than the Too Faced concealer, even though it's in the same packaging. And it's like, you expect me to use this as foundation and concealer? In what life, and what world, and where? Like, whose idea was this? Because I hope it wasn't Marc Jacobs himself, because that was a terrible idea. Who finna, you trying it? Ooh, you trying it. But it's still a beautiful product. I still love the way it looks on the skin. I don't feel like it necessarily has a caffeine shot, if you will, and gives like whatever the caffeine is supposed to do to the under eye. I don't feel like it does that at all. On the initial application, if I remember correctly, I feel like it did, but it's like, it didn't promise to do it throughout, so I mean, I guess that will suffice. But I really like it. But if you want an alternative, you can just buy the one from the lip bar, because it's a caffeine concealer and it costs less, and you can go to Walmart and pick it up and it'll do the same thing as the Marc Jacobs one in that retrospect for the caffeine. But I just like the Marc Jacobs one, and since this is a luxury video, I forgot sneaking on it. But those are all the foundations and concealers that I had in my luxury products, and my top 10 luxury foundations and concealers. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, y'all are diamonds. Let me know if y'all want me to do like some powders and some primers, because I have some luxury primers that I like, and then I have some luxury powders that I like to use underneath the eyes and all over the face. So we can do a video on that too if you want. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.